there! Welcome to Apple World. Is Whoopi Goldberg really about to lose her fortune for going after Jason Aldean? Whoopi is finally setting the record straight on rumors that Jason is suing her after she slammed his song, "Try That in a Small Town." And while things aren't looking good for Whoopi, there's a lot wrong here with this. This is a man who saw what happens when someone is out of control with their guns. Yeah, Jason Aldean got a lot of people in Hollywood mad with his new song, "Try That in a Small Town." And multiple celebs accused him of promoting racism and gun violence. And one of the loudest among these celebs was Whoopi Goldberg, who blasted Jason for seemingly criticizing the BLM movement. But that's not all Whoopi said. And her comments landed her in hot water, leading to speculation that Jason is planning to file a defamation lawsuit against Whoopi. Meanwhile, Jason's song has completely divided the internet. And while one half is agreeing with Whoopi, others are saying she and the rest of the Hollywood crowd completely misunderstood Jason's message. But what exactly is Whoopi's issue with Jason's song? And is Jason really taking her to court? Let's break it down. And he saw people get. So I don't understand how he could be that disconnected country singer. Jason Aldean recently sparked a huge controversy with his song "Try That in a Small Town" and received backlash from multiple celebrities, mainstream news outlets, and talk shows, including The View. And while some of The View hosts said that Jason has the right to sing whatever he wants, Whoopi Goldberg slammed Jason, accusing him of perpetuating racist rhetoric. But it looks like Whoopi may have overstepped the mark because reports recently emerged that Jason is planning to sue her for everything she has. To give you some context, "Try That in a Small Town" is a country song that highlights the differences between city life and the countryside, implying that actions like burning the flag, engaging in protests, and disrespecting the police would not be tolerated in small rural towns. Basically, the song invites people who engage in this type of behavior to try that in a small town and see what happens. The second verse also addresses Jason's stance on gun rights, and he's basically saying that people in small towns would never allow the government to take their guns. However, the song sparked controversy among fans, with many of them pointing out that Jason is exploiting the anger of small-town people and trying to convince them that their problems are caused by people in the city rather than corporations. One Twitter user said the reality of Jason Aldean's "Try That in a Small Town" is someone did try that. They're called corporations, coal companies. Monsanto, Purdue, Walmart, companies that lobbied for NAFTA beat the ever-loving shit out of small towns. Many fans also pointed out that Jason himself is from Macon, Georgia, which is not exactly a small town. And then there were also a lot of people who took issue with Jason bringing up gun rights. Considering that back in 2017, he performed at the Route 91 Music Festival in Las Vegas when a shooter killed 60 concertgoers. Jason Aldean ran away from the stage in Las Vegas when an active shooter was shooting his fans without warning them. One fan said, "Is that small-town values?" However, the controversy surrounding "Try That in a Small Town" took another turn when Jason released the music video, prompting fans and fellow celebs to accuse him of racism. The video features Jason performing in front of the courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee, a place where black teenager Henry Choate was lynched in 1927. He was hit over the head with a hammer, instantly him. It then dragged his body through town behind a truck and hung his body from the second story of the courthouse that you see right behind me. Tell me, does that courthouse look familiar? Yes, the same courthouse that Jason Aldean just shot the music video for his song, "Try That in a Small Town." However, Jason's fans defended him, pointing out that literally everywhere in the USS, especially in the South, has a negative history tied to it. Another reason why Jason's video drew backlash is because it showed news footage of protests, riots, and looting with scenes of protesters disrespecting police officers. Just 4 days after the video was released, CMT withdrew it from rotation and multiple outlets reported that many clips used in the video were filmed at protests and riots outside the US, and some of them were even commercial stock footage. However, the censoring of the video had the opposite effect, and "Try That in a Small Town" ended up reaching #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and experienced the biggest sales week for a country song in over 10 years. However, the song and video continued to draw backlash in the media. And while some critics called for Jason to be censored, others defended his right to freedom of expression. Singer Sheryl Crow criticized both Jason and his song on Twitter, writing, "Jason Aldean from a small town. Even people in small towns are sick of violence. There's nothing small town or American about promoting violence. You should know that better than anyone having survived a mass shooting. This is not American or small town, like it's just lame." However, other country artists like Travis Tritt supported Jason, denying that his song promotes violence. Travis claimed that the song is simply expressing a point of view that many American people share, which is against the obvious violence that we have seen from the likes of so many activist groups, and the belief that this behavior would not be tolerated by many people in many places across the USA. Jason's fans also criticized the perceived double standard of those who accused Jason of promoting violence, pointing out that the same people who are trying to censor Jason are the ones who listen to rap songs that glorify all types of crime. However, Jason's critics refused to back down, and one of the loudest of them was Whoopi Goldberg, who tried that in a small town during a recent episode of The View. The View co-host Joy B. Hare said the song is divisive. However, she defended Jason's right to expression. Alyssa Farah Griffin shared a similar sentiment and said that she didn't believe Jason was intentionally trying to stoke division. "I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that his intent wasn't to stoke division, glorify violence, or racism. I'm going to give him that benefit of the doubt." I don't know. However, Whoopi didn't want to hear any of this, and she slammed Jason for being disconnected and said he's gone too far. There's a lot wrong here with this. This is a man who saw what happens when someone is out of control with their guns. Yeah, he's performing. He was performing in Vegas. And he saw people getting. So I don't understand how he could be that disconnected. How people around him didn't say to him, "Hey, listen, you know what? Maybe there's a better way to do this." Whoopi also called out Jason for seemingly criticizing the BLM movement, suggesting that even though he didn't mention race in his song, he knew exactly how the people would interpret the video. You just have to realize that when you make it about Black Lives Matter, people kind of say, "Well, are you talking about black people?" Whoopi said, "What are you talking about here?" However, Jason has now fired back at Whoopi and other critics and denied that the song had anything to do with race. "There is not a single lyric in the song that references race or points to it," Jason wrote in a statement. He also claimed that there isn't a single clip that isn't real news footage, adding that while he respects others' interpretation of his song, this one goes too far. Jason also addressed the issues surrounding his stance on gun rights and wrote, "As so many pointed out, I was present at Route 91, where so many lost their lives and our community recently suffered another heartbreaking tragedy. No one, including me, wants to continue to see senseless headlines or families ripped apart." Jason went on to say that for him, "Try that in a small town" refers to the feeling of a community that I had growing up where we took care of our neighbors, regardless of differences or background or belief, because they were our neighbors and that was above any differences," Jason added. However, Jason didn't stop there, and reports recently emerged that he's also preparing to file defamation lawsuits against people who accused him of being racist, including Whoopi Goldberg. And while Jason still hasn't confirmed or denied these reports, Whoopi is reportedly panicking right now because she leveled some pretty serious accusations against Jason, which could provide groundwork for a defamation suit. As for fans, many of them are saying they hope to see Whoopi held accountable, considering that she has a long track record of making controversial statements and then backtracking when she gets called out. For example, Whoopi initially defended Bill Cosby from the allegations and questioned his victims' claims. However, she later changed her stance once Cosby was convicted. Whoopi also defended movie director Roman Polanski, who essayed a 13-year-old back in 1977. And she implied that what happened to the girl wasn't real essay. And this is why fans are saying it's high time someone held Whoopi accountable, and they're hoping Jason Aldean will go through with the defamation lawsuit. Last time Whoopi apologized, She claimed she was speaking only metaphorically and not to be taken literally. One fan said, "I'm still waiting for the entire show to be canceled." And another person wrote, "Whoopi always does this. Finally, someone will sue her for her reckless, racial, and irresponsible behavior." But let's hear your thoughts on the controversy surrounding Jason Aldean's song. Do you think Jason should sue Whoopi for defamation? Comment down below and don't miss out on